Bears win. Bears shock the NFL world. Not us as Bears fans, though, obviously, because we knew today was a dub locked up at Soldier Field. But the Bears are 1-0 to start the 2022 NFL season, thanks to a win against the San Francisco 49ers. They are tied for first place in the NFC North with the Minnesota Vikings after week 1. They are 1-0. Matt Eberflus's regime has started off with a win, and he has 1,000 winning percentage. Bears are going to the Super Bowl. Just putting that out there. But welcome to this episode of Just Another Year Chicago. My name is Nick Rohde, reporting after week 1's win against the San Francisco 49ers, 19-10 at Soldier Field. Many might call it the water bowl because the Bears were practically swimming at the end. Soldier Field was a complete puddle, but guess what? It worked out in the Bears' favor because we're still playing outside. There's no dome to block the rain, and the Bears were able to pull off the win and shock the San Francisco 49ers, the team that was in the NFC Championship last year that lost to the eventual Super Bowl champion LA Rams. Big plays by Justin Fields, big plays by Khalil Herbert, shocking running back duo with Khalil Herbert and David Montgomery. Jaquan Brisker and Dominique Robinson stole the show from a rookie standpoint. Roquan Smith looked absolutely fantastic. In this defense, I'm telling you, they're back. The Bears are defense is back. The offense is still getting there. We're going to go into that in a little bit. I'm going to talk about the offense right now, kind of break down the stats for you guys. But the Bears won. That's all I'm putting out there. The Bears won. They are 1-0, and I can't ask for anything more than that. So let's talk about the offensive side of the ball to start the day. I know that's where a lot of people were looking out for. A lot of people were like, okay, how is this going to go? Luke Getsy, what's he going to do with this team? Is he going to lead us to success? What's the offensive line going to do? So many questions, Bears fans, going through Bears fans' minds. But the one thing that they didn't think that was going to happen was that this offense did pretty good today, all things considered, with the field conditions and the weather. The Bears scored 19 points against the San Francisco 49ers defense. All 19 points came in the second half. Bears were down entering halftime, didn't score anything in the first half, but they were able to go ahead and score 19 when it mattered the most, winning 19-10. Both extra points were a problem today for the Chicago Bears. Carlos Santos missed 2 of them because of the field condition being so bad. He even said himself, he goes, wow, I was not prepared for that. It was, something I definitely have to work on, but we still love Carlos Santos, no doubt about it. Bears won again. Just want to put that out there. But the one thing that everyone's probably looking out for when it comes to, okay, Nick, how did this offense perform well today? The offensive line. They did okay. And okay is fine because okay is better than bad from last year. Braxton Jones, the rookie left tackle that a lot of people were looking out for today against Nick Bosa, struggled horribly at first. I think the second play of the offensive scheme, he gave up a sack to Nick Bosa. But Braxton Jones picked himself up, didn't get down on himself, ended up actually having a pretty good game against Nick Bosa. Had Nick Bosa, contained him, all things considered. Bosa was in the backfield making a lot of breakup, but he only had the 1 sack. So Braxton Jones did a pretty good job today for a rookie left tackle. He's also the second Bears player to do that, starting at left tackle. 6 in the NFL since 1961, which I thought was a kind of cool stat, being drafted after the 5th round, starting at left tackle their rookie season. So that was a cool stat. He did great on this national stage, though. Obviously a lot of people were tuning in for the San Francisco 49ers Bears game because a lot of people thought it was going to be a dub. Guess what? For the Niners. Guess what? It wasn't. The Bears won that game. Great job by Braxton Jones. Lucas Patrick started the game at center, was moved to right guard, taking Tevin Jenkins to the bench. A lot of people were saying this due to the struggles that Lucas Patrick was having with snapping the ball due to his thumb. Not really sure about that because if that was the case, they would have just taken him out entirely, but they took it, put him in for Tevin Jenkins. So we'll have more on that. We'll be posting that on our social media pages, so stay tuned for that. But overall, Lucas Patrick looked good today, too, along with Larry Borum, who had a very strong day at right tackle today. Congratulations to him. Cody Whitehair, as always, was fantastic. And this Bears offensive line, man, I'm telling you, they did okay. Okay is better than bad. That's what we like to hear. Overall, I'm going to give the offensive line a B- grade today. From a standpoint of the Chicago Bears in the weather and everything else, I think this offensive line did a fine job, Guys are slipping all over the place. Cleats are getting so dug into the new sod that it's not even funny. But the offensive line, they're young. They're getting there. And they only gave up 2 sacks this entire game, all things considered. Well done by the offensive line. Give them a B- on the day. But if it was normally, I'd probably give them a C because they were average. Let's go to passing. Let's talk about Justin Fields. Let's talk about something very more exciting. Justin Fields, our captain, Mr. Slip and Slide, the Mr. Awesomeness, everything, running all over the field. Justin Fields went 8 for 17 today with 121 yards passing, 2 touchdown passes, and an interception. Both touchdown passes, again, gave him in the second half. He had an interception in the first half, shaking out the rust and also dealing with the rain. But he looked great. His 2 touchdowns today were Dante Pettis on a 58-yard bomb, which was awesome. And then Aquanius St. Brown caught an 18-yard touchdown using his large body to go over the defender in the second half. Awesome job by both of them today. Fields did not put up elite stats by any means, but with the field conditions, I don't blame him at all. He really did a lot of good things. He looks more prepared. His confidence is much higher than last year. He looks like a lot like himself from Ohio State that the Bears were ready to take on, but Bears fans obviously didn't get that till already this year. But, you know, there was 1 turnover, and he decided also himself today to take the ball a lot himself. If he saw a wide open field, slide, because the water was going to let him go instead of 5 yards, 50 yards, because he just slipped and slide everywhere. But overall, fantastic job today by Justin Fields. Confidence was there. The team leadership was there, and he definitely is winning over the coaching staff. Again, full speed game against starter ones and arguably a top 10 defense. So well done, Justin Fields. And, you know, speaking about him still, his rushing wasn't too bad again today either. 11 rushes for 28 yards, 2.5 yards per rush. But he had some big plays. A lot of those rushes ended up being either tackles for loss or, you know, at the line. But when he did get the opportunity to run upfield, he did a fantastic job. So he was able to open up the play, which helped open up the playbook open up plays, which then opened up the playbook for him. He looked fantastic. David Montgomery, 17 rushes, 26 yards, 1.5 yards per rush. I think his stats don't tell the story about how he played today. I mean, there was nothing going on there in regards because everyone was slipping. Holes were breaking down much faster than usual, but David Montgomery was a threat of receiving the ball because the defense had to break out for him whenever there was a play action that could potentially go to him. Took advantage of that. He had 54 yards receiving. Overall, the Bears did a very good job today, spreading out the ball, making sure that there was a flow in the, 24 yards receiving. I'm sorry about that, but 8 yards receiving. He did a fantastic job making the defensive life hell. Khalil Herbert, 9 rushes for 45 yards, 5 yards per rush, and a rushing touchdown. He had a great day today. This was kind of more of a like power back kind of deal and smaller back, you know, kind of work through the defense. You know, Dave Montgomery's 5'10", but Khalil Herbert's even smaller than that. Khalil Herbert, from just a mass standpoint, they're pretty much the same type of running back. But Khalil Herbert did a fantastic job bulldozing over defenders today. You know, getting 5 yards per rush, did great, and he's going to be a great 1-2 punch with Montgomery and Herbert, and maybe Ebner. Ebner just had a couple special teams plays today, but overall, what a day for this duo. The rushing team is looking great. Top performers, I'm going with Justin Fields and Khalil Herbert. They did fantastic today for the offense. They helped carry it to this victory, especially the 19 points in the second half. Quick areas of improvement. I think Braxton Jones needs to continue to get up to NFL speed, and I think people need to be patient with him. He is a fifth round. I'm not even a fifth round. He's just a rookie in general, going against arguably one of the best edges in the entire NFL right now. So I think he did a great job. Just getting him more comfortable and up to speed is probably what's going to help this offense. And they didn't do too much today getting Cole Kmet and Ryan Griffin involved. Ryan Griffin did have a really sweet catch on the sideline, which ended up being out of bounds, but they need to involve the tight ends more. You know, Cole Kmet's looking for a big year. And, you know, I'm obviously predicting that as well. But, you know, he didn't do bad today. Cole Kmet did a great job blocking and also, you know, making opportunities for other guys. But Justin Fields needs to find ways to include him. Let's go to the defensive side of the ball and talk about how they made the Niners' life hell. Passing, they held Trey Lance for 13 for 28 with only 164 yards and an INT. No touchdown passes. Who had the INT? Eddie Jackson. Bo Jack looked like himself today after the game. He looked happy. He was excited. He's like, this is what we've been waiting for. This is the type of defense that we know we can be. Eddie Jackson also had 3 total tackles, but what a day for Eddie Jackson. Fantastic job. He was a big leader in why they were able to hold Trey Lance to only 164 yards. But Jaquan Brisker is looking like he can be that dude again alongside Eddie Jackson. Was an absolute ball hawk today. Ended up having a fumble recovery thanks to Jalen Johnson's peanut punch in the first 49ers drive. Jaquan Brisker had 4 total tackles, but he was everywhere over the field. Guys weren't able to get around him. Guys would come charging at him, and he flew around everywhere and is a big hitter. So if you're in Madden, got the big stick, Jaquan Brisker is your guy. What a game for the rookie. Kyler Gordon had another big play, a big day comparably to the rest of the secondary. The secondary looks absolutely fantastic. 6 total tackles for Kyler Gordon in his rookie debut. Did an awesome job making sure that he was getting to the ball as fast as possible. What a day by the young buck. And then Jalen Johnson also with the forced fumble. He did get a little shaken up today, but he did end up coming back into the game. But no one could do anything against this Bears secondary. The front 7, on the other hand, they struggled a little bit. They gave up 176 rushing yards, but I'm saying that with an asterisk because of the fact of how bad the field conditions were, because the Bears were able to do the same thing on our side of the ball. But, they did what they could. But it's not like they look bad. Roquan Smith looked fantastic, flying everywhere. Dominique Robinson had in his first game did fantastic. I'm going to get into top performers in a second. But Nicholas Moreau looked really good too. Matt Adams did. They threw Jack Sanborn in there for a minute or two. But overall, I mean, it was just it was insane. The 49ers have some fast running backs, and also they have Deebo Samuel, which definitely hurt them. But at the same time, the Bears did a fantastic job defensively being able to hold them. What a job. And also led by Roquan Smith. Top performers today, Dominique Robinson, the rookie edge, had a fantastic day. 7 total tackles, 2 quarterback hits, 1.5 sacks in his first NFL game. And then Roquan Smith with 9 total tackles, half a sack, and a pass deflection. So the areas of improvement that I have to say, I don't know if it's because they were going against some of the best tackles in the NFL, both left and right tackle for San Francisco. But Robert Quinn and Travis Gibson were pretty silent today, all things considered. But again, first game, field sucked, but not an excuse. Hope to see these guys against Green Bay absolutely rip it up with the Bears take on Green Bay in week 2 at Lambeau Field. One more note I just want to call out there is that Matt Eberflus did a fantastic job in his head coaching debut. He really knew how to keep control of the game, know how to keep his cool, was talking to officials, was helping guide everyone, not just one player, and he did a fantastic job. So wanted to give the shout out there, but the Bears are 1-0. They are atop of the NFC North. They are 1-0. I am so pumped about that. 19-10 Bears. They are taking on the Green Bay Packers in week 2 at Lambeau Field. So stay tuned for that. We'll have coverage all throughout the week, and we will bring it all to you guys. Make sure that you follow us on our social media pages. But with that, Bears win. Thank you very much for tuning into this episode of Just Another Year Chicago. My name is Nick Rohde, and we'll see you guys next time. Bear down.